Hey, what's up, fam? And welcome to Morning Manna. It's day 2, and we're still talking about vulnerability. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Dictionary describes vulnerability as the inability to withstand the effects of a hostile environment or relationship. Depending on the severity of a particular experience or relationship, one can develop unhealthy emotions that can inadvertently alter one's perspective on life and people, and oftentimes ourselves. Some of these emotions may look like anxiety, maybe fear of rejection, maybe anger towards a particular gender or a person, insecurity, shame, whatever it is. There are places in every person's life where we may feel some sort of apprehension to be transparent. There's always this sense of urgency to mask and cover up. And why? It's because these are often the places that are not always comfortable to talk about. And after a long time of harboring these feelings, they're so deeply rooted that no one can really get in, not even those who are closest to us. And then we find ourselves in some situations having outbursts or maybe misunderstood reactions that we have not properly dealt with, unresolved emotions that have been covered up and not discussed, not talked about. And again, this is often because of experiences that may have been developed, certain behaviors or attitudes or perspectives that have not been addressed. And so now we have these unhealthy and unfortunately habits that not only affect us, but those around us, whether it's our coworkers, our friends, loved ones, and potential business or life partners. The reality is that we all have something that we've tried to cover up. Maybe it's something that seems small to others, or maybe something just on the surface, maybe fear, maybe depression, disappointment. Maybe it's being judgmental, bitterness, things people can't always see. Maybe it's stubbornness or insecurities. This list just goes on and on and on. There are some other cases that may be a little bit deeper. Maybe it's an addiction, maybe a marriage separation, maybe an eating disorder, anger issues. And the thing is that we've become professionals at covering this stuff up. It's interesting because I think we've learned to do this even as early as a child. We learn how and what to cover up. Long before masks were the national mandate, we knew how to mask up. We learned even as early as a child what was acceptable and what was not. As a child, we quickly discovered what made us afraid or what hurt us or what made us happy or what made us sad. And again, depending on the severity of our experiences and how it was handled, vicariously, these experiences could also determine just how transparent or how we mask as we become older, as we become adults. And unfortunately, it starts to show up in many of the relationships that we have, whether it be work, school, personal. We see those start to surface again. But for me, I think of vulnerability in terms of this inner voice that has developed over time from childhood to adulthood. This voice that seems to just take over our lives and literally stops us in our tracks, stops us from taking big steps, new opportunities, and even walking out the call of God for our lives. And for a lot of us, it stops us even from believing what God has said about us. But can I tell you this? God wants to put a silence to those lies. He does. He wants to give you rest. I love what Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 says. Jesus says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Those who are weary and those who are burdened, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden, it is light." You see, the first step to receive such rest is in acknowledgement. Acknowledgement to God that you trust Him to give you rest. Now, tomorrow we're gonna walk and navigate through the story of Naaman and how his acknowledgement opened the door for an opportunity for God to bring about spiritual rest and healing from the inside out. Well, we will see you again right here tomorrow morning for day 3 of Morning Manna.